So you gotta love on demand, you know? Worth whatever it is, pay for it every month. It's not that much. I got it free for a year and then now I'm paying for it. But it's like 15 bucks a month. Cable is very expensive though. It's up close to 200 with HBO. But like I told you in the other video, my mom's watched a whole entire season now of Game of Thrones. We only have HBO so she can watch Game of Thrones. Just like we had it when we were both watching True Blood. The entire series, you know, the whole 8-9 years, however many it was. But I'm not interested in Game of Thrones. Although maybe I would be if I gave it a chance. I don't know. For the People's going away. I liked that show. I didn't like when it got political. It's got political with the, I just didn't like when it got political. I won't elaborate. I'll just say having to do with the, you know, illegal immigrants or whatnot. But I liked it. I liked how I liked it. I don't know what kind of true reflection it is on true law, but I don't know whether you know that doctor shows are true reflection, but it seems to be. I guess it depends on how well made something is, but it's not popular. It wouldn't go away after its second season. Some shows are going away and they just debuted this year. I feel bad. I didn't think that was gonna and it didn't. It bit the dust. Murphy Brown, I watched I think once and hated it. That bit the dust. Life in Pieces, I watched once, didn't care for it. That's going away, I believe. I saw this on MSN online. So I was right about that little girl, that Malia situation. Last time I watched World News Tonight, which wasn't last night, it was Friday night. I have last night's to watch and tonight's to watch. I've been playing Young Sheldons for my mom. She's been going to Bible study and missing them, and she likes them, so she installed the shows that I've already watched. Hence my beginning comment, you gotta love on demand, you know. And then she's like, these have commercials? I'm like, yeah, Mom, the only time you don't have to watch commercials, I fast forward, is when you watch something with me that I've recorded, okay? It's like we have to watch the commercials when we watch the news. Malia, that little girl, somebody was saying there were really severe accusations against her stepfather, and I think some of his story might have holes in it. He might have made that shit up about being knocked out and two Hispanic men coming up when he was changing a tire and saying about malicious. It's, I don't know what they're going to find out with that. I don't foresee it turning out well for that little girl. I watched 2020 Last Defense about Darlie R, the mom in Texas who was convicted of stabbing to death her two little boys, they said 4 in the beginning, ages 5 and 7. I don't know why they call them 4 and 5. Before you had to refer to as a 5-year-old too, but there was a lot of evidence in support of what she said, that someone broke in. Plus, like, she's sarcastic. She's been in prison now for over 20-something years. Watching the whole thing, I don't think she did it. I do not think she did it. And like she said, normal mothers don't just suddenly wake up one night and turn into homicidal maniacs and stab to death their little kids. You know what I mean? And the fact is, there was fingerprint there. There was a sock falling down the alley that had both boys' blood on them. I mean, but the reason she was found guilty is because she was tried in a small town, and she was beautiful and had huge bosoms and, you know, breast implants, and character assassination. The evidence against her was flimsy, and it's supposed to be beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm sorry, I don't think she did it. I think she's been on death row for the past 20 some odd years for a crime she didn't commit, and that's very sad. Plus, the police they had what they call tunnel vision. They did where she was. They didn't even look into other suspects. They believed she did it. But she made the biggest mistake you could have made. Biggest friggin' mistake. And it was her downfall. And she was cut too, but her wounds, and they're saying they're self-inflicted. I don't think she did it. She had a baby too. They don't mention the baby, but now the baby would be in his or her 20s. Anyway, it was character assassination. People didn't like it that she threw a little birthday party for her son and was smiling and throwing silly string, but, you know, people grieve in different ways. I just don't think she did it, but what makes me so angry watching the whole thing, because there was evidence to support, and they said, oh, she's self-inflicted. Yeah, but they said there was a slice across her neck and 1 millimeter French, and she would have bled to death. So people who do self-inflicted wounds usually don't do them on the neck, you know. I mean, I just don't think she did it. But what makes me so angry is that they were granted, you know, because nowadays they're catching people and stuff that they thought they got away with crimes. We have out of this world DNA testing available to us now, and they're catching former, you know, people who were serial killers that got away with it because they couldn't test the way we can test nowadays. So it is sick, okay, that Texas would rather have this woman rot in jail or even be put to death than to have egg on their face, to find out that they were wrong. 9 years ago, the judge on this case approved new DNA testing of that sock that had the boy's blood on it, and that fingerprint that's unknown, that we just pretend, like, where'd the fingerprint come from? I mean, tunnel vision. The police, the lead investigators, just believed that Darlie did it, and they wouldn't even look for anyone else. Even though the neighbor said she saw a car in that neighborhood look right in front, casing, you know, because they had money, you know, but it doesn't matter. Her peers found her guilty because character. There wasn't enough evidence, but it didn't matter. It's supposed to be beyond a reasonable doubt, and that's what I don't like. It was no way it was her beyond a reasonable doubt, but unfortunately, when she was in a state of shock and see her boy stabbed to death, she picked up the bloody knife, which she never should have done, because now her fingerprints are on it, and they can't get the fingerprints of the person, you know, so. But the fact is, maybe she did do it, and she blocked it out, okay? But what are you so afraid of, state of Texas? It's been 9 years, you're sitting on this. Let the DNA testing proceed. Let us at least, you know, and maybe we'll find out that Darlie did do it, but, you know, it deserves to be decided once and for all. The state of Texas is against it, even though the judge on the case approved the DNA testing that they couldn't do over 20 years ago, and this happened in 1996. And the state of Texas is against it. They want this, they'd rather, like I said, I'm blunt, they would rather have this woman be put to death, sit in jail for the rest of her life, rot in jail. But she's not, there's no execution date set for her because of the appeal, because of the granted by the judge, new DNA testing that they couldn't do back then. And the state of Texas doesn't want it done. That's sick. That's so sick. And the lead investigators pleaded the fifth and wouldn't talk about a memorial service that was held because they had bugged the grave, thinking that, that someone's going to stand over the grave and confess or something. They bugged the grave, and that might have been against federal law. So they pleaded the fifth, so the jury never got to hear about the memorial service because defense was calling the lead investigators to discuss that memorial service, and they pleaded the fifth. And that's unheard of apparently. So it's sick. It's sick. Stop it. Sick. It's sick that that the state of Texas is preventing this from happening. While this possibly innocent woman sits there and rots on death row. You don't even get to eat. You eat in your, for a crime. Can you imagine? But like she said, even if she was released, it's about right or wrong. Even if she was released, she wouldn't be winning because she still lost her little boys. Her little boys were still murdered, She maintains her innocence to this day. But so did OJ, So did OJ. And remember about OJ, they say that, people 100% believe that he killed Nicole and Ron. His wife Nicole, the other guy's name was Ron, right? Her friend. Stop it. But anyway, that you insist on your innocence for so many years, so long, you actually do believe that you're innocent of the crime. So, but it's the most horrific crime that you can imagine. They say she did it and wanted it to look like a botched robbery or something, or I don't think she did it. Her husband doesn't think she did it. Friends. She made that fatal mistake. She picked up the bloody knife. And that was her downfall. That was her downfall. End of story of her downfall. But